Proving triangles congruent, and you see an SSS there. What that is going to mean is side, side, side. So here is side, side, side congruence. If three sides of one triangle are congruent to three sides of another, they are congruent by side, side, side. So we'll notice here that we have one mark here and one mark here. So those two sides are congruent. AB is congruent to DE. And then we have BC congruent to EF because they have two marks. And then we have AC with three marks congruent to DF with three marks. So then we know that ABC is congruent to DBF. How do we know that was the right order? Well, if we start with go to A to B, and then B to C, and then C to A. Okay? If I start on my other triangle, if I want to go from one mark to two marks, I have to go from here like this. So then I know the order is DEF. So just keep that in mind when we're making triangles congruent. Okay, so we're not really going to be doing proofs in this class. We are just going to prove that two triangles are congruent. And here's how we're going to do it. I'm given that QU, so right here, is congruent to AD, right here. That's two marks. And then QD is congruent to UA. Now, I am trying to prove by side, side, side. I only have two sides. I need one more side. And we're going to look at this picture, and we're going to mark our last side. Well, how do I know those two sides are the same? If I was to draw that triangle separate, it would be sharing the same side. So I'm going to draw three marks there, and I am going to say QA is congruent to QA. It's congruent to itself. So all we have to do is mark our picture, and we have to say the third thing that is congruent. So you're always going to be given two things that are congruent. You're going to have to find the third. Okay, so now we have this picture. RS is congruent to TS, so that's a given. So there's our one mark there. V is the midpoint of RT. So if V is the midpoint of RT, then what I'm going to say is I'm going to say RV. By the way, we're looking for SSS, side, side, side. RV is congruent to TV. I found that from the midpoint. Sorry, that was a scribbly mess. And then I'm looking at my picture, and I see that two sides match each other. So I say SV is congruent to SV. Now I have my three sides in the picture, and if you look here, I have my three sides that I said were congruent, and now I have side, side, side. Okay, QRS is isosceles with QR congruent to SR. My picture is not marked. I need to mark it. RT bisects QS at point T. If RT bisects that point, then I know that these two are congruent. So QT is congruent to ST because they bisect. And then I see they're sharing a side. So RT is congruent to RT. I have my three sides. I keep forgetting to write by side, side, side. So I have 1, 2, 3 sides.